Fáilte rally Argyll choirí leathach Dunoon Carcovula agus Argyll rally Alapa.
Around 60 crews descend on Dunoon for the 2018 Dunoon Presents Argyll Rally. The event following in the Scottish Rally's footsteps and running all the two-wheel drive cars at the front of the field over the 8 stages. Although the entry was down a bit, the quality was here in spades, with any of the top 10 four-wheel drive crews capable of taking the win, all headed up by the orange Impreza of Jock Armstrong.
It'll be fine, definitely wide open, tyre choice is critical, temperature's just off and on, whether it's a hard or a soft, so I'm going hard.
Also in the mix, the current top 3 in the points are here. Donnie McDonald, Andrew Gallagher and Mark McCulloch set to battle for the championship lead.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Stage 1, Glen Branter, and we hitch a ride in the back seat of the Armstrong Impreza. And things are about to become very interesting.
Right 1, left 1, C120 up, left 1, 50 up, the turn open hairpin right, and 80 up, left 1, 60, long left 2, tightens a quick 3, into right 5 line, into long left 8, no cuts, go.
Jock and Cammy out in just 42 seconds, and they're not alone. Next to go were McCulloch and Hendry, suffering once again with a power steering failure. The Fiesta snapped sideways on the third stage and rolled off the road into retirement. Corrialt was not a good stage for Buckley R5s. Fastest on SS1 and 2, Rory Young and Alan Cathers were flying early on. Then came the tiniest of mistakes. If you watch that again, you'll see the front right clipped the bridge. That meant the first of 2 punctures. Struggling on through the stage, they slipped off the road into a ditch and out of the event. First of the survivors after 3 stages was Donnie McDonald. With Jamie Edwards alongside for the first time, the championship leader held a slim 5-second lead going into first service, despite the engine mysteriously cutting out in Corrialt.
How was that in there, Donnie? Disaster. Car stopped. It wouldn't start for 15 seconds.
Don't know why.
Huh?
Don't know why.
Just said fuel pressure. We thought we had to pull over. Couldn't make it up, man. Couldn't make it up.
Just those 5 seconds back after 3 stages, Andrew Gallagher and Jane Nichol were back on the form that saw them win the Snowman. They were fastest in SS3.
Well, we made it anyway.
There's 1 or 2 on Mark, isn't he, I believe?
Aye, Mark's on his roof in there, aye, but it was quite narrow and obviously a lot of grass in the middle of the road and that, so I mean, as soon as you were offline, there wasn't much grip.
Sticking a late entry in, Freddie Milne was out in a McKinstry Impreza this time out and had installed Abby Loudon in the hot seat. Despite a few issues with the brake bias, they set 3 top 10 times over the opening loop to lie third, 12 seconds behind Gallagher. Stopping at Jock's accident and then again in 3 to check on McCulloch, Bruce McCombie and Michael Coutts were pleasantly surprised to be only 3 seconds back from the Impreza in an early 4th. Just 5 seconds back came the ever-improving I-20 of John Wink and John Forrest. The R5 crew just 1 second up on Michael Binney and Claire Mole, these two crews renewing their battle from last year's Challengers fight. Up next came a four-way battle for places 7 to 10. Scott McCombie and Murray Strachan were only 4 seconds clear of Alan Dixon and Martin Forrest. The Sackmaker in turn only had 5 seconds on John McClory and David Hood, the Brick and Steel Evo having moved out of Group N spec after the Snowman.
Kerr left to inward crest over Bad Bumpkin Bridge, right 3. Tightens to right 5 now, tightens to right 5. Into long left 5, continues over crest, no cut. 90. Right 2 in, 40.
Annoying the four-wheel drive cars again, Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank had pushed the big Escort into 10th, just a further 2 seconds back from McClory and Hood. Out for the next loop, and Gallagher turned up the wick after a tyre compound change in service. Fastest in Bishop's Glen, and Glen Brantar was backed up by 2 top 3 times in 6 and 7. That 5 second deficit was now a 4 second lead. McDonald and Edwards slipped to 7th fastest in Bishop's Glen after a puncture, dropping 13 seconds to the Focus. Top 3 times on 5 and 6, and fastest in the second run of Corrialt, closed the gap to just 4 seconds. The battle for third was shaken up over this loop. McCombie had the place now from a flying wink by just 3 seconds, the Hyundai second quickest in Glen Brantar too. Milne and Loudon had slipped to 5th, 12 seconds down on the I-20. They in turn only had 10 seconds over Binney and Mole in 6th. Things had calmed down in the battle for 7th. Scott McCombie now had an 18-second buffer over McClory. But things were not so calm for the final 2 top 10 positions. Dixon and Forrest were now tied on time with McKnight and Marchbank, with only 1 stage left to run. So 6 miles remain to decide the Argyll result. Having pestered the four-wheel drive cars all day, McKnight and Marchbank finally succumbed, slipping to 11th at the finish. Just sneaking into the top 10 by 3 seconds from the Escort was the Impreza of Ian Baumgart and Dave Robson. 4 seconds up the road, Dixon and Forrest put on a last stage charge to finish just 3 seconds back from McClory and Hood. Seventh was another solid result for Scott McCombie, with Murray Strachan in the hot seat.
Into right 2, left 4, C50 up, left 3 in, 50 over bumps, keep right into crest left 1, caution narrow right 3 no cut, left 1, crest middle into left 1 no cut, and left 2 in, K right 3 don't cut, 50 up, tidy left 4 in over crest 70, right 1 over small crest 70.
Over a minute up the road, sixth was also a solid result for Binney and Mole, especially given the spec of the cars in front of them at the finish.
Right of a long crest, left 1, C120 down, caution, deceptive right 8, into narrow left 9. Into loose right 6, no cut. Caution.
There was a tie for fourth. Wink and Forrest were fourth quickest over the final stage, but Milne and Loudon had blasted to a fantastic fastest time. The Impreza crew getting the nod for fourth in the tie-break. They nearly grabbed third, but McCombie and Coots did enough to secure their first podium since 2015 by just 2 seconds. Kermit can still mix it with the big cars.
Well, I haven't said congratulations, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
Michael, well
Cheers.
done. Great run today. Your seeding was pretty close.
It wasn't far away. I thought it was a typo error, but maybe they knew something we didn't.
Aye, there you go. Fantastic day though, eh? Nip and tuck all day.
It is. It makes it a lot more interesting for everybody, does it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Never knew what was going to happen from one stage to the next. Michael, an exciting day. A few people had, you know, a bit of moment and that caused you guys some delays, but everybody seemed to pick up a delay here and there, but hey, you got through it.
Yeah. With a few problems with timing, but no, got it all fixed.
Yeah. Getting in amongst these R5 cars, Bruce, eh? There's life in the old dog yet, and the car's no bad either.
yeah, right, yeah. Oh, Kermit did us well. Yeah. And then you've got to thank all the boys that support us as well, Ken, and the mechanics that come down and that, keep us going. It's all a good team effort.
And the first...
4 seconds separated the top two Fords going into this stage, and it would be Donnie and Jamie who would make the decisive error. Stalling on the start line for the first time ever in his rallying career, MacDonald had to settle for his second place of the year.
Congratulations. I know second is a wee bit frustrating with the kind of day you've had though.
Yeah, just a wee bit like it. But in all honesty, before we knew we were second, we had had an absolutely fantastic day. Just feel a bit depleted to find out we were second because we had a great day. Last stage was superb. In fact, all the stages were amazing. I wasn't here last year. I didn't hear some good things about it. When I watched the DVD, I thought, wow, I really fancy this. And it was a great rally, honestly.
I mean, it's frustrating that, again, the final stage, you managed to stall it on the line.
Yeah, first time I've ever stalled on a line, ever. 12 seconds the boys counted behind us.
Yeah, fantastic. Really good to be back up in Argyll again. We had a really good run last year with Sean. It's been really good actually. First time in an R5 car, so a lot to learn this morning on the first stage for me. It was a bit of a baptism of fire. It was quite amusing from my side of it. I didn't shut up for the entire stage and didn't really get any breaths either. But yeah, really good. And then Donnie's driven a fantastic rally today. Really hasn't put a foot wrong actually. And we've had a good result. And it's a shame we didn't get quite the result we wanted. But in fairness, second's pretty good.
But Gallagher and Nicol made no such mistakes, taking 1 second out of the Fiesta to win for the second time this year by 5 seconds. This result moving them back into the championship lead.
coming into this round, it probably didn't look as good for us in the championship. We'd obviously dropped some points previously, fell back to second, but never thought we'd get as good a result today, so it's put us back in the spot anyway.
Yeah, you seem to have a fairly trouble-free run. I know you changed the tyres at halfway, but you didn't seem to have too many dramas today.
No, it was all fine, just maybe the wrong tyre choice. And then the last stage we come off the start line with a misfire for about a mile or two, and I kind of thought, I know what's wrong now, but it did clear, so we got to the end, and that was that.
Leapfrog now back to the head of the championship by a point. Jane, it's looking good, nip and tuck.
It's looking really good, yeah. Can't ask for better at this point in the season.
So the Argyll stages had proven to be a challenging prospect once again, and the championship is shaping up nicely at the top as a battle of the two Fords. Up next, the Grampian. Who will grab the advantage in Aberdeenshire?